Maybe because Google has figured out that I'm a dentist, but I see a lot of ads for the Quip toothbrush. So I've been curious about it. I mean, I think electric toothbrushes are great in general. The Quip looks really cool, and for around $40 or $50, it's the same price as the Sonicare that I usually recommend to patients. So I did a comparison. I bought a Quip plus two other Sonic electric toothbrushes, and I've been using them for a couple weeks to see how they compare to the Sonicare that I normally use. Now, first, let me just give you some background on electric toothbrushes. I already mentioned that I think that they're great, and that is because they are at the same time more effective than a manual toothbrush, but also more gentle. So for people with sensitive teeth or recession, they are a must-have, but they make for a pretty decent life upgrade for, I don't know, anybody. Now, this may sound obvious, but for these toothbrushes to be more effective than a manual toothbrush, the bristles have to do a lot of work as they automatically sweep back and forth. But they move so fast, it can actually be hard to see how much they're moving. So to give you a better sense of what each of these toothbrushes are doing, I filmed them with the bristles submerged in some water. So the more splashing you see, the better. Now the first one I tried is the Colgate 360 Sonic battery-powered toothbrush. You can get this for around $6 on Amazon, and at that price, it's not much more than a manual toothbrush. You can see the ripples it's making in the water. While the sonic action isn't nearly as strong as the Sonicare, I can feel while I'm using it that it's doing something. Is it enough of a something to make it better than a manual toothbrush? I don't know, maybe. But I did like it more than I thought I would, and I think that this makes for a great travel toothbrush. The next one is the iEAX, which you've probably never heard of, but it's what I found when I searched Amazon for cheap electric toothbrush. There are a lot in the $20 range, but I found this bad boy for $11. You can see that the bristles are definitely moving more than a Colgate, and you can feel that when you use it, but there are some downsides. The charger confusingly ends with a USB plug rather than a regular electrical plug, which meant that I had to charge it on my bedside table rather than in my bathroom. So that's not ideal. And it also just has the one button. So every time you have to turn it on and off, you cycle through all the different modes. And so if you're turning it off and you accidentally hit the button one too many times, you gotta cycle through all the modes again, but toothpaste is splattering everywhere while you're doing that. It's a mess, and it's just not great. I'm also never gonna be able to find replacement heads for this thing. I mean, I can't even find it on Amazon anymore. So, I don't know if I would recommend the iEAX, but it works amazingly well for the price. And I would assume that most of those other ones on Amazon in this price range are pretty good if you're willing to put up with some annoyances. So here's the Sonicare. And all the Sonicare toothbrushes have the same sonic action, which you can see here is a step above the cheaper ones we've looked at earlier. This is the only one where I was actually worried about my camera getting wet. Sonicares come with a lot of crazy features, but the only one I really think is worth it is the sensor that prevents you from using too much pressure. That means the one that I usually recommend is the Sonicare 4100 Protective Clean. It usually runs around $50, but sometimes you can find it on sale for cheaper. Now that is a lot more than $11, but while I wouldn't be surprised if the iEAX stopped working tomorrow, I've had this Sonicare for almost 5 years. Now let's look at the Quip. Now here's the Sonicare again for reference, and here is the Quip. Yeah, it is on, it's just real sad. I mean, I don't think that this $50 toothbrush is as good as the $6 toothbrush we looked at earlier. And using it feels like using a manual toothbrush. In fact, I think there might be manual toothbrushes I like better than this, since I don't love the bristle design here. I will admit that it is undeniably cool. I mean, I got this black metal one, which looks awesome and has this great holder that attaches to my bathroom mirror. Just know that if you get one of these, you are paying for good design, not a good toothbrush. So to wrap all this up, if you don't have an electric toothbrush, maybe you should get one. And after doing this comparison, the one that I think you should get, and the one that I will continue to personally use, is the Sonicare. I don't think you need to spend any more than $50 on it. And if you want to spend less, rather than getting a knockoff from Amazon, you might be better off getting Sonicare's cheapest model, since it might be easier to find replacement heads. Or you can just wait for a sale. There are some popular toothbrushes I did not mention, most notably the Oral-B Electric. It's a good toothbrush, I just happen to prefer the Sonicare. And Quip isn't the only new brand of electric toothbrush out there. There's Goby and Burst and Gleam and a bunch of others. And not too long ago, I probably would have encouraged patients to give those a try, thinking that were probably fine, but I am so shocked by how bad the Quip is that I'm a little nervous about recommending anything that I have not tried myself. So until I get a chance to give those a try, I'm going to stick with what I know is good, which is Sonicare.